Why isn't it? There it is. It's starting. It took a little bit of a hot second, but that's okay. Hello, everybody. My name is WEEBO'S, and this is the professional stream. Say hello to my co-host, SDA, the lovely SDA.
Hi.
And we do this twice a week, once on my channel on Sundays from 7:30 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, once on SDA's channel on Wednesdays from 7:30 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Just before Game of Thrones premieres on my channel today. Oh my god, I'm so excited. SDA. There are so many feels.
At least SDA could join this time. Wait, why are we...
Oh, because of last week? Remember?
Where was I?
You were having issues with getting onto the Hangout.
Oh, yeah.
Got it! I'm gonna make this into a tradition. Every night or every Sunday on when I do the show, I'm gonna open up a bottle of wine during the show so that I can drink it when we're watching Game of Thrones because I think it warrants. Obviously.
That is not SDA. I'm so confused. Why am I not SDA?
Why are you not SDA? That's a good question.
But if you would like to make your money our money, just so you know, there is a link to the Streamlabs down in the description below. Or if you have been a fan of the show for a while, you know there is a stream to the Link Labs down in the Discord below. Speaking of Discord, there's also a link to the Discord down in the description below.
There is. Actually, I'm pretty sure that link works, but let me just make sure.
It does. It's a forever link, I made sure.
I know, but even if it's a forever link, sometimes they die.
Yeah.
Either way. Okay, it works. The link...
People still use it.
Huh?
People still use it.
Yeah, I know. I was just making sure it worked. Thank you to Race Jacobson, who donated $1 over on Streamlabs to say, be sure to give Thorn Midnight a birthday shout-out. Well, happy birthday, Thorn Midnight. I hope you were enjoying yourself.
Yeah. And in case you guys did not see last night, I dropped the teaser trailer for the audiobook. The link is in the Discord. So if you guys want to see that, if you guys want to check it out after the show, you guys can certainly do that. But if we want to jump over to news.
I do. And by the way, everyone in the chat, we are not going to be talking about Endgame on this stream, except for like one little thing at stupid comment time. But that's a stupid comment time. No spoilers, though. We're not talking about it yet because not a lot of other people have seen it yet because it is freshly new. But if you haven't seen it, you should totally go see it.
It is really, really good.
I recommend it. It's a fantastic movie. 10 out of 10. Would see again. Am going to see again whenever it is I can find the time.
I'm taking my dad to see it tomorrow.
It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a real good time. All right. So, news?
Yes. News.
All right. Which story do you want to do first? We have several in the queue.
I was going in order of the list. I like going in list order.
Okay.
So let's go with man 31 accused of living in ex-girlfriend's attic for weeks before attacking her, as you do.
As one does. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I think that it should be stated, even though I don't think that it needs to be stated, but please don't stalk people from their attics for weeks before attacking them. Thank you.
Or stalk people from anywhere.
Don't stalk people. Just live your own life. Live your own best life as well as you can.
Unless your best life includes stalking people.
Yeah, don't stalk people.
Don't do that.
I've had a few online stalkery types, and I still do, actually. I'm not gonna lie. There are a few people out there that are a little bit obsessed with me. Oh, I should probably present to everybody. Okay, so the woman had noticed unusual things inside her homes, just finding a blanket on the floor and the toilet seat left up. Now, this is not weird, necessarily, if you have a roommate, like I do. But it's weird if you don't have a roommate.
Yeah, or if your roommate is not a man.
That too.
You know.
Mm-hmm. If your roommate is not a man and you find that the toilet seat has been put up, that is a bad thing. But even if your roommate...
either she got laid or it's a bad thing.
That too. But even if your roommate is a man and there is a toilet seat up, it's gonna cause issues. Because I don't know if you guys know this, but it's very easy to fall into the toilet without a toilet seat. I've had experiences in the past that were not fun. But I digress.
Okay.
So, Carrie last name right there, 31, was arrested in the unnamed woman's house and charged with burglary and unlawful restraint after she found him standing in the middle of her bedroom, U.S. media reported. After the encounter, he allegedly grabbed her face before she pushed him away and ran outside screaming, prompting several neighbors to call 911. Police searched the house and found Ku's last name here hiding under clothes and furniture. Hang on. If someone can hide under clothes and furniture effectively away from people to the point where you have to actually go looking and searching a house for them, you have bigger problems, or not bigger problems, but you have equally sized problems in the sense that your house is a hot mess and you should clean it. Clean your house. Put your laundry away. This has been a public service announcement from baby Jordan B. Peterson.
Either that or he made a mess of her house.
Mm-hmm. But then wouldn't you know exactly where to look if
That's
he just
true.
made a mess to hide under? but Carrie went to the 5-year-old school of hiding away from things. Because let's be honest, what have you ever met 5-year-olds? That's exactly how they hide from people. They assume that you cannot.
He told officers that he was homeless and had been sneaking in and out of the house for about 2 weeks. The mother of two had been noticing unusual things inside her home in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, such as finding a blanket on the floor and the toilet seat left up. She told Channel 11, "I feel like this is going to affect me for the rest of my life." I'm sure it will.
Oh yeah, obviously that's gonna mess you up a little bit, big time. Oh, there's more to the story. I do have a question though. Why would he attack her if he was homeless and using her house to kind of mooch a residence off of? Honestly, why would you attack the person whose house it is that you're essentially hermiting in?
I don't know.
Anyway, I had an intuition about it, but I ignored it. I brushed it aside. I didn't want to seem paranoid, but I should have trusted my instincts because I was right. Yes, always trust your instincts, especially about this kind of stuff. If you feel like there's someone else in the house with you, if you feel like you are being stalked, if you feel like, there is an issue with your personal life, but you can't quite put your finger on it, definitely don't ignore it because it could mean that you'll get attacked in the middle of the night by an ex-boyfriend who's been living in your house for 2 weeks.
How do you just not notice? Well, I guess she did notice it, but...
Well, here's the funny thing, though. These are not our unique stories. These happen more often than I'd like them to, which kind of gives me pause and makes me... It gives the whole buying a gun and having a gun on your person argument a lot more validity.
I know, right?
But how big was her house that she just doesn't notice or doesn't inherently know that someone else is living there?
Yeah, or how do you not just bump into him?
That too. Maybe he just knew her schedule. Because people go to work and they leave the house, and then you have freedom to roam, and then maybe they come home and you sleep for a little bit or whatever. But it would be nerve-wracking, wouldn't it?
That's creepier than shit. Can we do something else? I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm out.
All right, let's talk about the shooting from yesterday.
Yay.
The video doesn't.
She said sarcastically.
Let's talk about something fun. Okay, shooting. Mayor says synagogue shooting in California that left 1 dead and 3 wounded was a hate crime.
Why is this in quotes? Is it because he said it? Shut the fuck up, CNN.
Okay, so a 19-year-old man was in custody after a shooting at a California synagogue on the last day of Passover, left at least 1 person dead and several others wounded, the city mayor said Saturday. The shooting occurred at Congregation Chabad in Poway, north of San Diego. Poway Mayor Steve Voss said he described it as a possible hate crime. President Donald Trump, speaking outside the White House Saturday, told reporters, At this moment, it
looks like a hate crime.
What's wrong with my eyes? Okay, at this moment, it looks like...
My deepest sympathies to all those affected, and we'll get to the bottom of it.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome.
Thank you for reading that one. I could not.
It's okay. I understand the struggle.
Yeah. So one patient, a 60-year-old woman, died at the hospital. Dr. Michael Kett said an employee of the synagogue identified the dead woman as Lori Kay. The other 3 victims were doing well with their injuries. He told reporters a 57-year-old rabbi who was shot suffered what looked like defensive wounds to both his index fingers. He will likely lose his right index finger. Ooh, that's the writing hand. That's a necessary finger. A 34-year-old man and his girl had shrapnel injuries. The girl, whose age was not given, was wounded in one leg and in the face. She was transferred to a children's hospital. Will be monitored overnight.
Oh, not the face.
I'm glad that the casualties were minimal. I mean, not that there were casualties, but that they were not as bad as they could have been. Let's cheers to incompetent terrorists. Sorry. I'm not cheersing incompetent terrorists. I'm cheersing the fact that they are incompetent at what it is that they go out and try to do.
Look, if there's going to be a terror attack, usually it helps that they're
incompetent.
Yeah. So Voss said he considered it a hate crime because of statements that were made when the shooter entered. San Diego County Sheriff Bill Gore later identified the suspect. We're not talking about that. The mayor said the congregation was targeted by someone who, with hate in their heart, blah, blah, blah. The authorities said an off-duty Border Patrol agent fired at the shooter when he was fleeing the scene, but didn't hit the suspect. Gore said it appears the agent who the sheriff thinks is a security guard hit the suspect's car. It is unclear why the suspect fled, probably because he was being shot at, but it is possible his gun might have malfunctioned, the sheriff added.
The suspect fled the scene and called 911 to say he was involved and gave his location. Suspect was being interviewed by detectives in the FBI. Nothing more here to report, just kind of updates on the case itself.
Yeah, there was an AR type assault weapon. So you mean so that he used a rifle? Is that what you mean?
No, Hestia, that's absurd. It was an AR style assault weapon.
I don't understand what that means, though.
You don't have to. It's fine. It's fine. So, did the gunman profess the shooting online? Authorities are aware of an open letter posted online purporting by the person that are collecting digital evidence and are in the process of reviewing the online content to determine its validity and authenticity. I'm trying not to do the whole shooters. Okay, so time out before we continue on with this article. I just want to point out we're not going to say the shooter's name on the internet. If you comment it, I'm going to block it. I'm going to delete. Those are the only comments that I actually delete. So after this show, when this thing goes it's up on the channel and you can comment on it after the fact. Don't post the shooter's name because I will delete that. And reason being is because the notoriety that shooters have been gaining in the media as far back as, Columbine? That kind of has a tendency to encourage more people to go for that same notoriety. So it makes more sense not to say his name, and we're trying our damnedest to not say it. So,
well, yeah, I mean, because Columbine literally has spawned almost 30 years of copycats.
Yeah.
And you know what's really fucked up about Columbine is that because of the narrative that Columbine was done by people who were lonely kids with no friends and we're all goth and shit like that, even though that's not actually true, that's primarily what the copycats have been, which is really fucked up. It's really crazy the cultural impact that Columbine has had.
It is.
The amount of.
Was it really 20 years ago?
Sorry.
Right, it is. That's right. It is 20 years ago because it's almost as old as I am.
Hey, sorry, I didn't mean 20 or 30, whatever. I did not mean 30.
It's fine. We're allowed to make mistakes on this show. That's why we're called the professionals, SDA. So CNN had read through an open letter posted to the anonymous message board 8chan before the shooting. Okay, let me just preface this by saying there's not a lot that's good that really comes out of 8chan of all places. I mean, 4chan has its moments, but not 8chan. Stay away from 8chan. Don't go there. In the posting, someone identified as Ernst. The letter writer. fuck? The letter writer talks about planning the attack and references other attacks on houses of worship, including the attack of the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh and the Christchurch Mosque shooting in New Zealand. The writer who talks about his disdain for Jews and claims responsibility for a mosque fire in Escondido a week and a half after the attacks in Christchurch. The open letter is structured in a very similar fashion to the manifesto linked to the Christchurch attack. Suspect blurred out, and okay. So basically what we're having is another copycat. And
Yeah, so
we can safely just move on from that story.
yeah, let's go to Week in Politics. Biden in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
I can read this one if you want.
Yeah, go ahead.
President Trump is talking trade with Prime Minister Abe of Japan, and he is taking swipes at Joe Biden, who announced, no surprise, that he is running for president. Ron Elving, senior Washington editor and correspondent, joins us. Ron, thanks so much. Oh, what the fuck am I reading?
You're reading transcripts. Essentially, Biden, okay, so just to kind of recap all of this jazz, there was shenanigans that happened online as soon as Biden announced. Trump made a few tweets that were very Trumpish in nature, if you're unaware. And Biden joining the primary Democratic lineup makes it, 21? I think.
Does it really?
21 separate individuals have declared for the Democratic half of the presidential election. So we have 21 people going for the seat in the primaries, which means that it's going to be a nice, interesting political season. I'm going to have fun. SDA, are you going to have fun this season?
Oh, yeah, I am. Mm-hmm. I totally am. I'm like, yay, we actually have stuff to talk about again.
We do.
We have content to make again. So many of us grew a lot like during 2016 because of the elections, and then we all stopped, and now it's like, oh, thank fuck.
Yeah. So it's like a cyclical thing. Every 4 years, YouTube, half of the community,
political YouTube gets to grow.
Yeah.
And then all of our channels die, and then we're on a 4-year evolution cycle.
We are.
Most of it was predictable. The local pizza. Wait, what am I looking at?
What are you looking at?
I don't even know. I'm trying to figure out what they're talking about. What are they even saying? Just seeing a lot of numbers.
Basically, they're talking about.
I know a lot of people have been talking about, at least with Joe Biden, that they don't like how into the establishment he is.
Well, they're talking about exactly what's going to affect the presidential election of 2020 in terms of not just the primaries, but the actual election itself, and how certain things from the last 4 years prior leading up to the 2020 election are going to affect Trump's campaigning strategy as well as that of the Democratic sides. I'm not mistaken, because they did bring up, they're bringing up the 3.2% growth in the first quarter in terms of unemployment. We're talking about the hearings, the congressional hearings. We're talking about, scandals. Obviously, when we talk about scandals, we got to bring up Watergate and the impact that had on people and how that relates to our most recent scandals.
What does Watergate have to do with anything?
Oh, well, when we're talking about presidential scandals, Watergate's kind of a big one. And I guess...
What, for this election?
No, not for this election, just in general. When we refer to scandals, so like Clinton, oh crap, what's it called?
Lewinsky.
Anything that has to do with even coming into contact with impeaching a president.
You know what's so funny about that?
What?
Is like people really think is that there are some people that really think you can impeach Trump. Like they couldn't even impeach Clinton. Not really, because he didn't really do anything. He lied to Congress. Yeah, about sucking dick. Like you have to Watergate to get it to actually get
even get close.
To actually get impeached where they're going to kick you out of office, you have to Watergate. Not lie about sucking dick, okay? They weren't actually going to do anything to him. And that's why and like if you get to Watergate level, you're not actually going to go through getting impeached. You're just going to nope out. Like that's what happened.
Roger Graham says he lied under oath. And also Nico said there are 22 Democrats running. And so, I mean, that's not better. It's actually worse.
Okay, let's get to this. Sorry, let's get to this other one because I know we're going to talk about this for a while. So
Sargon's been a bad boy recently.
I saw this whole. Was it a BuzzFeed video? What the fuck video was it on Twitter?
I'm not sure, but
I saw this whole video though.
Thank you to Race Jacobson who donated $1 over on the Streamlabs to say F Uncle Touchy because we're getting President Touchy.
Nah. Now UKIP candidate who said he wouldn't even rape a Labour MP says it's okay to sexually abuse boys. Did he?
For those of you who don't know, the UKIP candidate in question is none other than Sargon of Akkad, Carl Benjamin, aka the leader of the skeptics on YouTube.
Police are examining sickening statements about child abuse made by a highly controversial UKIP candidate. Carl Benjamin was formally adopted by the party as a candidate for the European elections last week, despite fury over his remark that he wouldn't even rape a Labour MP. I don't know
why are they so mad about the fact that
I wouldn't rape you. How dare you? Okay, now a senior UKIP source has told the Mail on Sunday that they have passed a dossier to Wiltshire police containing deeply offensive remarks made by Mr. Benjamin, an online vlogger from Swindon who calls himself Sargon of Akkad. The Insider says the dossier was passed to UKIP's ruling National Executive Council last autumn, but no action was taken. It includes a YouTube broadcast in which Mr. Benjamin says, I can be quoted as saying, you can F young boys. It's actually not as controversial as you think. It depends on the child, doesn't it? The ancient Greeks were pederasts. It was considered normal. It was mentoring. So he's saying I can be quoted as saying that.
Mm-hmm. But
he's literally saying
he's quoting himself and being quoted out of context as quoting himself out of context.
He's literally saying that somebody could go through my shit and quote me out of context, and that's exactly what they did.
They did that.
Because he was...
And then they quoted the whole thing. Because this is a quote about how he can be taken out of context and say this thing, and they're taking it at just this value, as him saying that this is something that he endorses.
The dossier also includes screenshots of a social media message in which Benjamin says he needs something to really trigger outrage, adding, do you have any underage porn or child porn? I will delete it fast so nobody gets in trouble.
Okay. So I don't know if you guys know this, but the English are very good at what we refer to as sarcasm. And now I don't have the actual tone of voice that Sargon said this in. I can pretty safely assume that that is exactly what this was, what the intention behind this statement was.
I'm just going to give him the benefit of the doubt and assume that he's not dumb enough to mean that.
No, but he is dumb enough to say it. And I will say this, Sargon, for someone who, purports themselves as an online intellectual, for whatever that for whatever that statement's worth, you can be pretty freaking dumb at times with what it is that you say and the way that it is that you control your temper and how it is that you purport yourself online. Not that I am any smarter in that respect. I have my golden nugget moments, my Watergate-y type things that I say. But quite honestly, I don't have any aspirations to be in politics anytime soon, ever in my entire life.
Honestly, none of us have any business being in politics because of shit like this.
Exactly. I disqualified myself.
Like, we're fucked.
It's okay. I don't want to be put in a position of power where I have to grovel and do what other people say and ask them and beg them for money to support my initiatives. Like, no. Hang on. That's exactly what I do. I said I don't want to be in a position where I have to beg people to give me money to support me in that respect.
Well, no, hold on. If you want to make your money our money, there is a link to the Streamlabs down in the description below. Please give us money.
Sorry. I do want your money. Please give us money.
This Benjamin was banned from Twitter in 2017 for violating the platform's rules on targeted abuse when he made fun of white nationalists. Last night...
You know how he did that, though? He spammed them with interracial porn.
Anyway,
which is technically not against their
it's not. Last night, when asked about the child sex remarks, which he made in 2014, Benjamin, who was standing for EU's Parliament South West England constituency, said it was an abstract conversation. You are a dirty smear merchant. He added he believed that the age of consent should be 18. The source, who has been interviewed by the police about the material, said the party leadership were fully aware of this as long ago as September, and not only did nothing about it, but actually allowed Benjamin to join the party and become a lead candidate. So, like, yeah, and then they go into like his other stuff. Like, it's all stupid, you know. Like, here's the thing: if you're he said stuff on the internet to get a rise out of people.
He does. He is
and
first
a rise out of people, and now he's getting a rise out of people on the national stage.
I mean, I think that's exactly what he wants, because he wants that attention in an effort to actually make a difference or make noticeable difference or get people to take notice of what it is that they should be making a difference about in lieu of other things.
Yeah, because I think, you know, for him, he sees it as other people will cower to this and apologize for it, and he sees himself as someone who won't.
Mm-hmm.
So he sees this as an opportunity for somebody to be yelled at for something that they said and to not apologize for it. So anyway, let's just get into this last story.
Okay.
Real quick, 20 Indian students commit suicide after exam results. 20 students have committed suicide in India this past week after the Board of Intermediate Education announced their exam scores.
Pause. Because when I found this article, I was on the phone with my dad, and I told him, Dad, my systems class that I get back isn't if my final exam in systems isn't this good, I want you to know that it could always be worse. It could always be much worse.
Nearly 1 million students took the exams between February and March, and nearly 350,000 failed, causing widespread protests from parents, student groups, and political parties. One student named something was failing biology and set herself on fire.
God, wait, hang on.
What the heck? According to the parents, what caused the students to commit suicide was an error on the part of the software solutions firm, which had been hired by software to develop software for processing admissions, pre-examination, and post-examination results. A 3-member panel consisting of that people or thing. There's a lot of things. Submitted its report on Thursday to another thing, which looked into a technology company. They also made recommendations to avoid examination lapses in the future. So were they faulty results?
I think they might have been. They're currently in the process of evaluating the answer sheets of the failed students, handling, between 70,000 and 120,000. Okay, I'm going to give some hearty advice out there to people in the back. Anyone who's a student at this moment, okay? If you get a bad grade on a test,
don't commit suicide.
It's not the end of the world. In 5 years, it's not going to matter what grade you got on that test.
And then real quick, because we're at 8, answers were still wanted by students and parents who protested the lack of information on the re-verification process. They wanted verification for all students. The student groups asked for money as compensation for the families of each student who committed suicide. Why should we pay fee for the blunders committed by then? Okay, here's the one thing I'll say before we jump over to advice time, because we're over time. I don't think, though, that they should actually have to pay money out to people who committed suicide. Because, like, if your kid also commits suicide over a low test score, that's kind of your kid's problem.
Yeah.
Like,
but I think there's the Board of Intermediate Education test itself.
So
isn't that like
wants to know how his second favorite trap is doing?
Oh, I am. Wait, second favorite.
Okay,
I'm
Race
doing
Johnson.
Fantastically.
Thank you for Race Jacobson. Thank you for the $1 over on the Streamlabs. Tribal bonfires have never been this much fun. That is really messed up, and you are a terrible person. All right, so guys, we are into advice time. So if you want advice from us, head on over to our therapy couch in the Discord and ask us your advice questions. We have now we have 43 years of life experience.
Yeah, we do.
Up 2 years. Look at that. We're 2 years older than we used to be.
We are.
So that's fun.
Side note, Neko says you heard it here. Everyone never super chat Weebo again. No, actually, please super chat Weebo again. Please. I have children to feed me and clothe. So it's important that you super chat me all of your monies so that I can do that. Because otherwise,
Streamlabs, if you would like
that too.
YouTube to not get part of the money that you're giving away.
Mm-hmm. I would very much like it if I got monies. However, it is that is possible.
Because we like using it to live. It's helpful.
Mm-hmm. So, SDA, we have some advice questions in the Discord. By the way, if you would like our combined informations about things, life, and the universe, you can definitely check out the couch in the Professionals Discord. Go nuts. So, Check Your Logic asks how to handle failing a test, and then follows it up with how to handle failing a class. So set yourself on fire. Don't set yourself on fire.
I said don't set yourself on fire.
Oh, okay.
First of all.
Mm-hmm.
Step 1, don't set yourself on fire. That's an overreaction.
Step 1, do not set self on fire. Step 2, try your damnedest. All right. Step 3, ask for help from your professor. Step 4, study in the areas that you know you're struggling in. And if all else fails, and it turns out that your teacher doesn't actually like you and actually just is in it to watch you fail and crash and burn, then it's okay to write them a scathing review in the student surveys that you have to give at the end of every semester and make it so that they have to change because other teachers will shame them into doing so. Because
look, sometimes you fail a class and that's okay, and just like chill and move on.
Yeah, it's
like how to handle failing a class, chill the frick out and move on.
Quite honestly, in my academic career,
I failed a class or two.
Well, I've never failed a class. I've gotten pretty close, but in the grand scheme of things, and except for in the case of your GPA, it doesn't really matter. Because, my D+ in data structures from sophomore year is not going to matter when it is that I go out into the world and do other things, because I still know the material. The only reason I got a bad grade is because the teacher doesn't like me. So there's that. Just make sure you know the stuff. Make sure you have experience. Make sure you know where to find answers. That's my biggest advice. It doesn't matter if you can't memorize things better than other people. It matters if you know how to find information, because 99% of life isn't about memorizing facts and figures and being able to spout them off on a whim. It's about knowing how to find information or knowing how to get information. And that's that.
Okay, so then what should I do if Brienne of Tarth dies tonight?
Well, don't stop watching the show just because Brienne of Tarth dies. I mean, there are a whole bunch of characters that are going to die tonight, and you're just going to have to suck it up, Buttercup, because life isn't always fair, and I don't know what else you expect from Game of Thrones at this point when they killed off Ned Stark in the first freaking season. And that's that.
And then we have what is the best kind of alcohol to drown your sorrows with? Not tequila. Tequila's too much of an upper, in my opinion.
It depends on how quickly you want to drown your sorrows. If you want to drown your sorrows like this, maybe do some shots of vodka. Peppermint schnapps is fun too, but you have to be a little bit more screwed up in order to get that to go down as easily. I'm a big fan of Jaeger.
So Jaeger's a party drink, though. That's not...
It doesn't have to be. You can drink Jaeger by yourself. What I like to do, and I've said this before, peppermint... I'm sorry. half a shot of Jaeger, and then the other half of this shot is Irish cream. Mix those together and it's delicious.
That's for partying.
Mm-mm.
Scotch. Yeah, Scotch is
Whiskey.
a drowning your sorrows drink. And then Scotch, whiskey, if you're a girl, wine.
No, I just do wine because I like wine.
Yeah, but it's
I
also
don't drown my sorrows in it.
rum, definitely rum. Yeah.
Rum.
No, we're going with drowning your sorrows drinks, okay?
Rum is for fun times.
No, but it's also a pirate. Why is the rum gone? I'm sad. Drink.
Mm-hmm. That's fair too. No, you're happy when you have the rum. You're sad when there's no more left.
Yeah, but that's because you're drowning your sorrows.
Are you drowning your sorrows because you have no more rum, or are you drowning your sorrows?
The world may never
because
know.
You're going to run out.
How can an introvert learn to fit in with others?
You got to find the right crowd of people. And to do that, you need to go out and do things that, okay, I know it's going to suck, but you actually do have to go out and meet people if you want to interact with them. And doing that, you have to find people in a space that you are comfortable in. So if that means going out and forming a D&D group, if that means you're going to the library and you're having a book club, if that means that you are, hopping on a stream with people that you like to watch, or if that means that you're gaming with people online in a setting that you like, then that's where it is that you found your niche. You have to find your niche in life in order to actually have friends. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Thank you, Dovakun, for the $6.91. Money for the hungry children. You have filled. Actually, that is the price of a meal swipe here at my lovely school. So you have fed me. Well, that's just shy of a meal swipe, but that's going to get me places. So thank you so much.
How do I tell people that I celebrate? How do I tell people that I celebrate the Easter Island statues without having them think that I'm celebrating the Christian Easter? I used to tell people that I'm an Easter worshiper. For some reason this year that has caused confusion doing that.
I can't imagine why that would be the case. Just tell them that you're an Easter Island statue worshiper and have like one of those little Easter Island statue pendants around your neck and be like, I worship those people.
And then we have Reese Johnson, who asked, what should I do if I'm having a midlife crisis at 28? That is a quarter life crisis, my friend.
It's only a midlife crisis if you plan on not living past the age of, 60?
No, it's a quarter life crisis.
No, I know. I'm just saying it's only a midlife crisis if you don't plan on living past 60. But you're having a quarter or midlife crisis. Best thing to do is adjust something in your life dramatically. Or maybe not so dramatically. Just do something different.
Just don't buy a motorcycle. Be original like everybody else. Well, don't buy a motorcycle like everybody else.
What's wrong with a motorcycle, SDA?
Everybody buys a motorcycle for their midlife crisis.
Or like a sports car. Well, okay. So the reason I say that is because usually people have midlife crises because they think that they've wasted however long of their life up until that point doing their life. It doesn't have to be that way necessarily. You can do something even subtly to kind of adjust things and change the way that it is that your life is going, the trajectory of your life. And I know this is coming from someone who is barely 21 and barely allowed to drink.
Close to being able to have a quarter life crisis.
Mm-hmm. I am, but
oh my
quite
god,
honestly.
Sorry, I know I'm not allowed to say that yet because I'm 22. I'm the oldest I've ever been right now, okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So just do something different in your life. Like I said, it doesn't have to be dramatic. It can be as subtle as, joining a sports ball team or attempting to get a black belt in a martial art. Or maybe you want to write a memoir, or maybe you want to go back to school. Just change something. And it can be a very small thing. And the rest of the thing, your life, will kind of domino effect in the same way. And if that doesn't work, try changing something else in a small way. You don't have to go all out and purchase a big fancy smancy sports car just to be like, oh, my life has meaning now. take up contract killing assassins of a gray set. That's quite a way to do. Quite a way to do a change.
What do you do if you don't know when to have a midlife crisis? I think it's pretty good. I think you know what? I think you're doing pretty good if you're not having them.
You don't go out of your way to have a midlife crisis.
Yeah, no, just don't worry about it. If you're not having one, it's a good thing.
Mm-hmm. Hightailed.
Hightailed.
Grapple. Did I do it right? Did I say it right?
I'm not doing that. I'm not mooing at you. I'm not throttling goats at you. I'll just say hi to you. Is the goal of becoming the first Orange Ranger on the Power Rangers TV show a reasonable life goal? You know what? It depends. Are you unreasonably hot, young, and a super cheesy actor? If yes, then possibly it is. If no, then absolutely not. And
I need you to
give up and go rock in a corner for precisely 5 minutes and reevaluate your entire life.
I need you to pitch to me exactly why an orange Power Ranger is more necessary than a gray Power Ranger. And then we can go from there, all right? All right. How to be less awkward in live streams. I don't know, you're asking the wrong group of people. We're not professionals for nothing.
I'm not awkward on live streams.
Yeah, we are. But we're like cute awkward SDA.
Okay, fair.
Only 5 minutes? How about 5 days? What are we
talking about? No, you don't have, look, you don't have fucking time for that shit, okay? You got shit, because you're the one who's having you're having a midlife crisis at 28. You don't have time to, you gotta get your fucking shit together, man. You have precisely 5 minutes to get it together. So, cry it out and let's go.
There's been a gray Power Ranger? Oh,
yeah.
Really? Gray Power Ranger.
Eve is fucking cheating on us right now.
Eve! Oh.
Oh, no, she's not.
Has there been a graphite Power Ranger? Okay, has there been a purple Power Ranger? I think
this is from the past.
Has there been a purple Power Ranger? God damn, it's a Dino Power Ranger. Okay, which orange Power Ranger? I'm pretty sure they've already had an orange. They have had an orange Power Ranger.
Oh, then your goal is completely unrealistic.
Yeah, it's completely unrealistic. You can't just propose something that's already happened.
Yeah.
It's okay.
So if you guys have any more advice questions, we still have 6 minutes left, and you guys can keep asking us for our lovely advice.
Low key, when I was a kid, the Power Rangers were the coolest thing ever.
And I remember this. Like, I loved the Power Rangers as a kid.
And then I grew up, and I stopped watching it for a while, and then I started watching it again in college. And
have you seen those episodes though? They're so fucking cheesy. Like, I don't remember it being like that.
I don't remember it being this cheesy either.
I remember the effects being like really good, and I was convinced it was real. And then I watched it like half an episode, and I was like,
"Well, no, okay." So here's the thing. Here's the thing. The newer iterations, seeing them now, and then comparing them to my earlier childhood memories of the older iterations, it's a little bit weird because I don't know if I'm actually remember things accurately or if I'm remembering them from the perspective of a 5-year-old watching the Power Rangers. Because I was a kid who watched the Power Rangers. Don't get me wrong. Me and my brother were all up in that business for forever. We had actually on DVD at one point.
I had them on VHS.
Yeah. And so, I don't know, the fighting sequences nowadays, having had martial arts experience, are really, really hard to take seriously and watch without a big giant grin on my face. Because they're still fun to watch, but not with the perspective of taking them seriously.
Yeah. So we don't have any more questions. So let's go on to stupid comment time, and then we can go to chat time.
Tailed, I want to tell you that I know ancient Greek and Spanish, but not very well. Those are my 2 languages. And also gibberish. Gibberish is my first language, and I am very fluent in that. So stupid comment time?
Yeah.
Stupid comment time.
And if you guys want to make your money, our money, there's a link to the Streamlabs down in the description below.
Yeah, there is.
So, stupid comment time. Let's do this.
Stupid comment time. Okay.
That is
I gotta go all the way up. This is from 2
there are
weeks.
so many.
Yeah.
Why are there so many, Weebo?
Because we skipped last week.
Good God.
What? You mean people don't shower sparks when you punch them in the nipple? No, that doesn't happen. It's never happened. And never will happen. Quote me on that. All right.
Okay. We need zealots like Caitlin. If you prefer a reasonable, mature approach to fighting libtards, good luck for you. Someone had some haterade this morning.
I don't know why people didn't like the fact that I was criticizing Caitlin Bennett. It's not like she's an actual human being with actual opinions and stuff separate from the brand that she is right now.
She's an idiot.
Uh-huh.
And she's an idiot. Go take a concealed carry course just so you can understand your local city and state ordinances on firearm responsibilities. You are cutting your own nose off despite your face.
That's not how that phrase goes.
Normally, you would carry a rifle, including ARs, in a case. That is not what constitutional carry is about. You might not like it, but that is her right.
So I never disputed that it was her right. I just said that she looked like a freaking moron doing it in the middle of a big city. And by the way, I am actually taking my concealed carry course with my cousin this summer, so I will be better educated on it.
Criticizing Caitlin Bennett doesn't mean you're not staunchly pro-gun.
I am pro-gun.
She's just an idiot.
Hurting her cause more than helping it.
People are losing their rights, willfully giving up their rights, and people such as Caitlin are actually doing something to protect rights. Are they really though? Because by acting like a fucking idiot, you're really hurting your cause more than you're helping it.
Mm-hmm. What exactly is throwing a bump stock into a puddle doing to help protect against the government taking away your Second Amendment?
Nothing.
Exactly.
You're just making people who are pro Second Amendment look like a moron.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, okay. The argument here, the way to get what you want out of the liberals is to show them a side of gun ownership that isn't irresponsible, that isn't detrimental to society, that isn't going to cause chaos and riots in the streets, that isn't going to necessarily harm others.
Right, and
Caitlin is
showing off that you have showing off that you have a rifle in the middle of the street when you don't need one is something that unnecessarily causes chaos.
It is, because part of gun ownership, part of gun responsibility is knowing when to expose your firearm and knowing when not to. And knowing when not to involves knowing the area that you're in and the people that are and how they're going to react to having a firearm in the vicinity as well.
Right, because that can make some people unnecessarily
Exactly. Gun awareness is important. And here's the thing. People not only are people going to react a little bit, wearily to having a gun in their vicinity, but this is something that they teach you when it is that you're going through police training and stuff, being aware of the people and how it is that they might want to utilize your own firearm maybe against you. Maybe not so much in the public space, but having a gun in public that is that unconcealed, that is that open to abuse from someone completely random is irresponsible, is unsafe, is kind of dangerous. I think
it is.
What's stopping someone from grabbing the gun?
I was just about to say that. Because also here's the thing, you're not a very large human being. Someone could easily get it from you.
Exactly. They can overpower you, take it from you, even if you have a gun. All right, there are crazies out there. That's undeniable. That is an undeniable fact that there are insane people out there who will do anything. And I'm not saying that they're the majority of people that you interact with, but I am saying that it's something to think about and it's something to be aware of.
Which is why if you are in public, it makes a whole lot more sense to carry
concealed carry.
So she's an incredibly irresponsible gun owner.
Yeah.
Which she's somebody who should not have a gun. Like, of all the people who shouldn't have guns, she's one of them because she does not know how to handle one responsibly.
But like, my whole point wasn't, oh yeah, she should not have the right to carry that gun around. It was, she has every right to carry that gun around, and she should use that right responsibly.
Whatsoever.
But I'm not going to purport her as the representative for gun rights in America.
Because she doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. Anyway, let's keep going because
I'm going to zoom in on this for you.
Sorry. Says the woman who sits in a dark room with a bad camera and thinks she's changing anything doing it. Stay in your safe space, Weebo, because that's what you do best. While the rest of us keep this country from going down the drain. By what? Scaring the shit out of people? That's not how you convince people or educate them about safe firearm ownership.
It's not like in December we didn't have a live stream where I did the exact same thing that he's describing here, sitting in my dark room with a bad camera, thinking I'm changing anything by raising 1.4K for children's cancer.
Yeah,
we didn't do that, SDA. I don't remember that.
You missed the point of the photo. It is better to discreetly carry a firearm. So why did she have an AR-10? Because it was not legal for her to conceal carry on campus. I enjoy your channel, but this is a prime example of why both you and Caitlin both have some growing up to do.
I didn't criticize her campus carry photo. I criticized the one where she was in the middle of New York, I'm pretty sure it was, and she was carrying an AR around. I think it was an AR. But I criticize that because it is irresponsible to open carry a rifle in that way in a public setting where there are that many people. I don't know how clear as day I can be about this. Sorry.
Yeah, because there are a lot of people who are going to react. We already said that. The police are trained to not overreact. That their training is at the standard they should be fired in Florida. Them cops are from the criminals of the world. And if you are supporting the police, you are an idiot, you space period. They're possessive. The possessive there are no better than the Roman soldiers tortured and Christ. The Roman soldiers tortured Christ and crucified. Space period. What?
Hear that? Jonathan Anderson thinks that I'm an idiot in this scenario. With English like that.
And then your dad, Alex, is one of my favorite YouTubers.
I kind of want to know exactly what it is that he meant by, like, are we talking about Alex Jones? Is that who we're talking about? Because Alex Jones is no longer on YouTube. And if anything, he's my weird uncle, all right? Not cousin.
Okay.
Ready for this?
Yep.
This is from last week's show.
We have enough dipshits on YouTube with their stupid little news shows. We don't need any more stupid kids in fucking pajamas. I think it wasn't in pajamas.
I was wearing a t-shirt, a button-up collared shirt from my grandfather.
F off.
I mean, now I'm wearing pajamas, but that's just to be spiteful, Paul. I wear pajamas from the comfort of my own room if I want to. Thank you very much.
I'm really upset about that. That's what I'm mad about.
All right, continue.
You said you seem really angry about something. Yes, I am. Do you think you are playing some little game with me, child? Lol. You seem angry. No shit, Sherlock. What was your first fucking clue? You are a master of the obvious. You don't even take the time. You don't even take the effort to get dressed in clothing to do your videos. LOL. Go back to sleep and F off, you little B word.
Whew, I'm confused. Why exactly are you angry at me? What have I done to make you so volatile?
I am effing sick of talking to you. You are in PJs talking about world events. Just F off, stupid little C word specific sex act. You censored that. And you can have a rich husband. Oh, I want a rich husband.
Are we talking about the same stream? I'm wearing boating shorts and a Hawaiian button-up that I put on that morning after taking off my PJ. And he didn't respond after that. But that was so...
Nothing have to do with Sri Lanka. Those are brown people. Christianity didn't stop
Oh.
white people from lynching more than 4,000 blacks throughout history.
Only
Not
4,000?
that's what I was just thinking. I was like, only 4,000?
I thought it was more.
I thought it was more too. Not even counting European atrocities. Oh, okay, there we go. Personally, I think Muslim extremism is horrible and should be eradicated, but white people are way worse and deserve a much harsher fate! Exclamation point, period.
Now, I don't mean to compare sizes, but if you take a look at the terrorist statistics from before 9/11, 2001,
2001 sounds so weird when you
it
say
does,
it like
doesn't
that.
it? You're gonna see quite a different.
Do you think hold on, like offbeat? You know how we say like 1902?
Yeah,
You think like
it's gonna be
our
coming
grandkids are
naturally.
gonna say 2001?
Yeah, they are.
I don't like it. Okay, watch T-jerks. God damn it. That was an accident. Watch TJ Kirk's video on this.
He explains it better.
No.
Huh?
He explains it better.
Oh, you were doing the beat pause thing. Okay, sorry, I didn't know what was going on. I put this in here for the reason that I don't care about the Banana Man. All right, I don't. I really don't. Not about it. I don't watch TJ Kirk. So why would I go out of my way to watch a video that he made about a subject that I already made a video about? Honestly.
All right, let's keep going.
This is from BitChute, by the way. I've never really get comments on BitChute, but here we go. It was on the Caitlin Bennett video.
Okay. Your sitcom intro is comical, but in the wrong way.
What's wrong with my intro? I like my intro. Here, I'll expand this for you.
I can get where you're coming from on a lot of your points, but I do not know who you are, and this is the only video I have watched. I do, on the other hand, know who Bennett is. I am a staunch supporter of the Second Amendment, whatever all that is, blah blah blah. I think you need to walk before you can run, and pissing off anything connected to Alex Jones is one guaranteed way to fail miserably. Well, good thing she's already established. As far as pushing the First and Second Amendment rights, I think Bennett has accomplished more than any of us will dream. No, she hasn't.
She has not.
If it has to be done in the way that she does, well, my God, frickety frack. Well, that's just how the hell it has to.
You seem to be struggling.
Damn.
Is it the BitChute format?
It is. Well, that's just how the hell it has to be, as long as the proper message is getting out. It's not.
It's not.
It's not. I think you should watch her destroy. She doesn't destroy them. The Soy Boys on the Logan Paul's podcast. She does a terrible job. Facts, intelligence. She's not. And properly, she's not. Properly, she doesn't. Conveying a message to a libtarded audience. She doesn't. I'll sub when I have the time and check out some more videos. Happy Easter. She doesn't. She doesn't do any of that. Up to 340 is all I could stomach of this condescending fool. Good luck wasting more of your time than that. If you're game, haters gotta hate, I guess.
Thanks, Willie.
What have you done to expound on the idea of freedom?
I don't know, but a lot better a job than she has.
You forgot a third option. Maybe they're pagans who believe in worshiping the goddess Astur, and they're still idiots for using the term Easter worshiper.
They're not referring to pagans who believe in worshiping the goddess Astur. They're not. They are not. Okay? Sorry. But this pissed me off because we know exactly what happened.
It's a joke,
that was freaking Target. No, it's not a joke. It's not a joke because I got more than just one of these comments. All right.
It's a falsehood to say that Easter is a Christian holiday. Oh my God. It's actually an Anglo-Saxon holiday like Christmas and other. like Christmas, another pagan / Anglo-Saxon celebration. The Christians tried to steal it and convert the non-believers. The thing is, though, here's the thing that I hate about morons. Because you know what? You're right. Now I'm mad. Okay.
See, it's not just
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about dumb people. When they try to take history and use it, because they're fucking idiots. Sorry, effing idiots.
There you go.
They're idiots. So here's the thing about stuff like that. Yeah, while that might be true, 2,000 years later, or a little less than that, because of how long it took to get to the, the British Isles and everything, it doesn't matter. It literally does not matter.
Yeah.
You might like to say, well, Christmas is actually like a weird offshoot of Yule, and that's why we have Christmas trees and wreaths. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
You have to look at modern day events, or just any event in history that's ever taken place within the context of the history that it is happening with. Because otherwise, you are being disingenuous.
Well, yeah, it
and
doesn't
you know
matter.
that you are.
Because for Christians, for the last at least 1,000 years, okay, Easter and Christmas have been Christian holidays that mean very specific things, okay? Regardless of the cultural exchange that happened to get them there, nobody's going, and also, we stole it from the pagans. Like, that's not like what's happening in church, okay? If you have to be told that, then it doesn't matter. Not that it's not interesting or something, but it doesn't matter. And you're a jerk, first of all. And also, your name is wrong. Wait.
You want to talk about Phil Chicken Fingers?
This girl is just mad that she is irrelevant for life. Sorry, Weeble or whatever your name is. You can see it, though.
Literally right there, bro. It's not that hard. It takes about maybe 2 seconds of your attention, which is apparently not that large. Okay, so then this happened on Friday after I saw Endgame. I was upsetty. I was very. Let me just zoom out from this so that you guys can see. I said, I'm a wreck, okay? Endgame effed me up.
Imagine being emotionally influenced by a superhero movie for children.
I don't know if you guys know this, but Endgame is for children. Okay. And then Race Jacobson, who I think is in chat still right now at this very moment, said, imagine being so far up your own a-hole that you have to take issue with other people's hobbies. Continue.
I take zero issue. I just found it amusing. She's free to be as emotionally stunted as she likes. I don't give a fuck. What kind of a dick?
I think he just saw my post and wanted to be edgy or something. I don't know, because he doesn't follow me, so it wasn't a big issue. But that's the end of what I got. Emotionally stunted for what? Having emotional feels about characters that I've interacted with since I was 10? I think how long ago was it that Iron Man 1 came out?
You would have been 10 and I was 11.
Yeah. So
here's the thing too. I've seen all of the movies in theaters with my dad. At this point,
half of my life.
At this point they've been going on for half of our lives. Okay. And I've had fun with almost every single one of these movies. I've had a lot of emotional moments with these movies. Just, and it's cool to see. Look, even if it's the evil studio and company of Disney doing it, it's cool to see a whole bunch of writers and directors and all of these and just this creative team actually accomplish this. That's really freaking cool.
It is. It's a spectacular feat, and not anyone has achieved it before. So it's cinematically making history. It is some of the most ambitious filmography I have ever witnessed. And it was almost as impactful as when it was that, Harry Potter finished off too, because that anthology was powerful in itself. Prior to that, the only thing that was like, you know, a big series of things that people made a big deal about were what? Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Star Trek maybe, Star Trek maybe. What else we got? Nothing else has ever been so ambitious in its execution.
No.
To make light of that is kind of you are I know not everyone is as, you know, into superhero comic book movies as other people are, and that's totally fine. That's totally fine. But you don't need to shit all over other people because they enjoy shit. Sorry, that was needlessly aggressive. This Pinot is making me angry.
No, it's annoying when people do that. Like, there's no need to do it. Like, what are you, 12?
What? When you're 12, I did nothing.
It makes sense to be afraid of liking things when you're 12. All 12-year-olds are scared to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're an adult, calm the crap down. Okay?
Yeah. When people crap all over other people and the things that they like, I mean, I'll crap over things that I don't like, but I'm not going to crap at other people for enjoying things that I don't like. I'll crap over the thing that they don't like, but not the person that likes the thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I have standards, all right? People have preferences. I get that. I'm expressing my dispreference with a thing when I crap all over it, but they're expressing their preference for a thing when they endorse it. So that's the way the cookie crumbles. Deal with it, okay? We can criticize, we can endorse, but don't be a dick to other people. Just that should be a motto for the rest of your life. Don't be a dick to other people unless they're a dick to you first, or unless they do something worthy of being a dick to. Life motto. And we get that tattooed right on my face right here. Right there. No? You don't approve?
I'm like reading the massive pagan debate going on. Also, why is SDA so overexposed? It looks like she's staring into the bat signal.
Just
because I
the way that SDA does. It's her preference, all right? Don't crap all over SDA's preference. Oh, I love stupid comment time. Thank you, Race Jacobson, for the $1 over on Streamlabs. Sorry, she looked like she was part of the Valley Girl cartel with regards to, I think, Caitlin Bennett, right? Yeah.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that would make sense, actually.
Okay.
What
Also,
we're having.
The camera doesn't like that I start in daylight and then it gets dark now. So
Yeah, because you can. It sucks because we start this stream just before sundown, and after sundown, you can't see the background of this room at all.
Well, that's what happens right now. Like with my camera, is that like one, it doesn't like that my hair is red, and then two, it doesn't like that the light changes. So then, like by the time that happens, I don't have time to fix it. So you get what you get, and just don't worry about it. The show's live. There ain't shit we can do about it, and you know.
Mm-hmm. So we have comment time now, right?
Yeah, questions, comments, concerns, anything you want to
trying
say, anything you want to ask. Also, give us money.
Yeah, no, this is your opportunity to ask us questions about things that have to do with the show, or maybe that have to do with us. You can ask us for updates on content if you want. You can ask us for updates on how we're doing because you care so much about our personal lives. You can just ask us questions if you want. It's totally up to you. Assassins of the Grey says, I'm sketching out a cartoon of you and SDA while I watch the show. Oh, cool. That's right, because we did talk about that last show, I believe, Wednesday, about how we both like avatar types.
Oh, yes, we did.
Yep.
We did discuss this.
The boys are at it again.
People comparing me to other people with red hair makes me super uncomfortable.
It's okay, Jacqueline. Sorry, I had to do it.
The pagan debate going on is like really interesting to me. I'm sorry.
Yeah. The great pagan debate. You know, I actually, I've had interactions with people who were pagans. I've had good interactions. I've had bad interactions. I've had mediocre interactions. And I've had, like, pagans on their own don't offend me. But there are certain individuals in a certain community with certain beliefs and ways that they go about purporting their paganism that kind of turns me off to the conversation of the pagan debate, in a sense. Because I do think it's very interesting from a mythological perspective, and I do enjoy hearing stories about people. Like, theology itself is fascinating to me. Just because it is. I like stories. You know, Christian or non.
Like, because obviously, as a history major, we talk a lot about theology,
mhm.
and I get kind of freaking sick of it. Like, I don't really enjoy it that much. I enjoy theology when I am not being forced into learning about it. But when it's part of a history class, I'm like ready to stab my eyeballs.
Yeah.
Because it's just
It's drag.
and it is so draining.
It's actually my
because
least favorite part of most history classes, even when
yeah,
it's
it
not.
really is.
Yeah. Like, we're talking, so I'm taking a Euro Civ class right now called Euro Civ 1300 to 1800. So it's like 500 years of content. And the professor, and I get why she does this, because it is an important part of understanding the context behind cultures, but she's emphasizing, because the Protestant Reformation takes place during that time.
Oh, yeah, yep. Oh,
Religion's a
did
big
you do the
deal.
whole, have you done like transubstantiation and all of that?
Yeah.
You go through all of that
Yeah.
fun
All of the
stuff.
things. Thank you, Domestic Idiot, for the $2. Is it time for hashtag not all pagans? I'm not saying all pagans. I am very specific in who I mean when I talk about people who purport paganism to the masses and how they go about doing it. There are some aggressive people out there, and I've interacted. There's one person that I'm talking about in this respect, and then there are a few people who have pagan leanings that, well, pagan leanings in the sense that their entire channel is dedicated to their pagan leanings and selling those leanings. SDA and I have actually talked about doing a video on the guy.
Oh yeah, we have.
Yeah, we have. I have an entire backlog of content that I want to get to about this.
You know what? This summer, because we actually have time to do all the collabs we've talked about doing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what's really funny is that every time someone asks, "Will you have Nick Fuentes on someday?"
Yeah.
I always think they're talking about Vic Fontes,
Nope.
who is the lead singer of Pierce the Veil, and I get excited and then I get sad. Because
yeah,
that's not what that says.
Mr. Monopoly asked if I will debate Nick Fuentes. I'm not sure what I would be debating Nick Fuentes on. I don't actually watch any Nick Fuentes content, so I don't know what I would disagree with him on that we would debate about. Probably the JQ. That's the only thing that I think I know about Nick Fuentes.
I don't know anything about him. SD, is that a PTW t-shirt? It is. It is a PTW t-shirt.
Classical
Neo-pagans are Neo-pagans are their new age hippies or just white supremacists.
Neo-pagans are new age. Oh, David Gomez, you need to rephrase the way that you say that, because that was really hard to read, and it's not because I'm drinking wine.
Yeah, I don't know what that was supposed to say.
I don't either. What's wrong, Eve? I see you in chat. What's wrong?
What's wrong?
Neo-pagans wouldn't know real magic if it slapped them in the trachea. Okay, so I don't know. I do find paganism to be a fascinating topic of conversation, not just like from a theological, mythological perspective, but also from the, so this is what you believe? Because I went and I talked with a fortune teller many years ago in high school. My friend wanted to get a fortune reading or something. So she had like the lady had tarot cards. We went to her house for a call-in, and I accompanied my friend to watch the tarot reading and all of the future telling and stuff. And then I interviewed her afterwards. I actually still probably have those notes somewhere, but I talked to her about it because I was very fascinated with her and the way that she did her business and the way that things kind of went down in that respect, and I was very observant of it. And she was very serious about the whole thing. It didn't feel like it was a scam, even though it probably was. But I think she genuinely endorsed what it was that the cards were telling her, that she felt that they were a legitimate way of conveying information, as opposed to people who I think are just basically hacks about this kind of stuff. But I would like to do like a series on people who do follow the occult in that way, because I know that there are people. I know people that follow me that are into that stuff, that are into pagans and stuff, that do take it seriously, that find it more spiritual than just about getting a quick one up over other people, or cursing their neighbor, or finding a love potion to fall in love with somebody. And I do think that there is some interesting content out there surrounding it. Thank you, Tuscan Trudy, for the $20. Thanks for no Endgame spoilers. I haven't seen it yet, but hope to soon. Dude, all I'm going to say is go see it. Go see it.
I love it. I'm excited to take my dad tomorrow.
Eve says she knows a pagan priest. Are they online? Who's attacking who in chat, Mr. Monopoly? I haven't been following too closely the chat, so what's wrong? Tell me what's wrong. Give me a synopsis, a tilde. Something less than 10 words.
Oh my god, I forgot Tildir was a person.
He is a person. He does decent content. I know him IRL, but I can introduce you. Oh, that would be great, Chaos Eve. You ever just read someone's name front to back and you're like, I never call them that. It's always Eve. There's always something else.
I kind of want to bring Eve on now.
Yeah.
I just want to talk to Eve.
Oh, big Jesus. Not all witches are pagan or Wicca, but all Wiccans are witches. See, that's confusing to me.
Wiccans are freaking weird.
Oh.
Wiccans freak me out. Like, pagans don't. Wiccans freak me the crap out. I don't like Wicca.
Do you remember?
Have you done any? Like, I did one day. I just did like a deep dive into Wicca because I was really curious about what the heck was going on.
I had a phase left because I was coming out of my Harry Potter phase, and so I got really deep into it. So I did a lot of research. And I met some people in high school, because this was right before I went to high school. I went to high school with like this intrigue into the occult and the Wiccan and whatever. And I met some people who were taking it hella seriously.
It's weirdly sexual, and I don't like it.
It's extra. It's very extra.
It's so creepy.
And it doesn't need to be.
And the other thing too is like we actually talked about it in class the other day, because we got to like witchcraft and the witch burnings. By the way, if you guys are curious about witch trials,
those are always
Europe, they burn them. In the Americas, we hang them. So just so you know, in America we hang witches, in Europe they burn them. For future reference. Now you know. But we were talking about it, and then we jumped to like present day, and we talked about like the satanic panic and all that, because we were just having a chat. And we talked about Wicca and like where all that came from and why all of their and like how it came from a whole bunch of bad research and stuff. And we also just talked about like the theology and stuff, and then it like reminded me of like everything that I had looked into, and it's creepy, and I hate it.
It makes for good content to kind of write about, though.
It's creepy.
And discuss.
I don't like it.
But did you ever go, like, okay, so in high school, did you ever come across people who took it seriously, like, to that extent?
Not in real life.
And they had...
I've met people who took witchcraft seriously, but who were not Wiccan. Everybody who I've met that has done any sort of like anything like that have always been like, no, Wicca's fucking weird.
Voodoo and Santeria are much older. Voodoo is more African-based. Santeria, I've never heard. Is that Satanism, or no? Is that something different? I knew a kid who thought he was a werewolf. I'm suddenly reminded of that one video of the guy who's like, on all levels but physical, I am a wolf. Oh my gosh. Okay, I just had a vivid memory of high school and the one kid who was super into Wicca. And he used to we had gym class together and we were friends for a while. And we had to change into gym uniforms and stuff for gym class in order to get credit, because how else are you going to get credit? But we were in gym class together, and I'm watching him wear his gym clothes over like a pair of jeans and sneakers and his long jacket or whatever, and I'm like, you must be really, really, really warm, sir. And then he's running the track, and the way that he's running the track, and I kid you not, he does the Naruto run. I think I said that right. But he does the thing with like his arms back to kind of protect himself forward. And he's just going. So just imagine someone IRL.
That is awful.
And he wasn't the only one who did this.
Hashtag things that are not okay. Hi, Eve.
Ooh.
Hi.
Hi, Eve. Oh, and then there were also kids who used to wear wolf tails in high school. Did you ever have that? Was that an experience that you had?
Me?
They were young furries.
You have to understand the high school that I went to would have not tolerated any of this.
Oh, my high school tolerated so much. There was a footy outrage, okay? The administration had banned people wearing footy pajamas.
At my high school, actually, if you got pregnant, you got kicked out.
Oh, wow. That's unfortunate.
Because you were a hoe. I mean,
yeah,
what?
No, like you could not get pregnant. Like if you were pregnant, you got kicked out.
No, I'm kidding. You weren't actually a hoe if you got pregnant.
No, you were, and you got kicked the fuck out.
Okay, let's be clear. SDA said that, not me.
Oh no, I'm relaying my high school's policy. If you got pregnant, I don't know, like what. I don't know, like how it would have worked if you got raped and got pregnant, but.
You better have an abortion.
No, definitely not.
No, that's even worse, because then
that would have been much worse.
Yeah. I don't know if they were furries, Assassins of the Grey. I hope to God that they weren't.
Actually.
Why did you not film that? Because I didn't think anything of it at the time. I didn't realize what it was, because I never watched Naruto.
Oh, also,
and I realized when my boyfriend made me watch a few episodes a few months ago, I was like, that's why he ran like that, because he was a fanboy.
Also, the father would get kicked out too.
Really?
Yep.
Assuming they can prove who it is.
Now, why would you do that?
The school was small enough that, like, you probably would know. How would it have been worse if you got an abortion? Pretty anti-abortion. Look, if it's a school that's against teenage pregnancy, you can guess it's a pretty conservative area. How would they know if you took Plan B? Well, Plan B is not even an abortion pill, so like, you know, they don't know if you get an abortion, but I'm just saying, like, they wouldn't have been supportive of abortion. Anyway, so you know a pagan priest?
Yeah. Yes, actually, there's a couple of pagans, 2 or 3 pagans in my LARP group. One of them is actually a priest, and they take it seriously in that they're very spiritual about it, but they don't like crazy assholes about it either.
Not like, I'm gonna curse you.
Right. They don't do all, as far as I know, they don't get into the mystical side of it. It's more of a spiritual, more like your modern day Christian would be.
Well, a lot of people too, who would even like, a lot of people are really careful about even like, if they're into that cursing and shit like that, or stuff like that.
Because the Naruto run is stupid and done to cheap out on animation. No doubt, obviously. I have no doubt of that fact. But I just think the fact that I didn't realize what it was until very recently. And now I'm having war flashbacks to gym class. There was so much weird about this guy. I have to compare notes with my boyfriend because he remembers this guy too. Hang on, I'm gonna ask.
Dun, dun, dun. Sacrifice. No, they're not Satanists. They're pagans.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get one thing really clear. There is a big difference between Satan worshiping assholes who kill goats and use pentagrams and pagans. Just like there's a big difference between pagans and Wiccans. Well, there's slightly less difference, but
no,
they're similar, but they're
a pretty big difference.
There's a difference.
Wiccans are just creepier than
See, I've met some creepy Wiccans, but I've also met some creepy Christians too. So
yeah, for sure. But Wiccans are like,
and we've all met the edgy atheists. So it's not even the religion so much as it's the individual.
But see, the thing is, the Wicca, just the basis of the religion. It's like on the surface, it's like the cycle of the year, but then you go into it, and it's like really fucking creepy.
Yeah.
Stop the Wiccan hate, you guys. Jeez. Have you read their whole thing? Just read the whole origin thing.
Wiccans are people too.
Go into like a bookstore, pick up a book about Wicca and just read it, and then just walk back away slowly.
See, I have no problem with being in touch with nature and using natural plants and growing them in your garden and being like, yes, this is willow tree bark and it will help you with your headaches. Here is some natural extract. I have no problem with that.
Mr. Monopoly is asking, aren't they aren't Aztecs or Mayans? And I'm like, no, they're not. Pagans are actually more origin in Europe than anything. I mean, the guy I'm talking about, the guy who's a priest, he's actually very well studied. The thing about paganism, from my very general understanding, is like it's more of a pantheon. Like all gods exist in some form or capacity, including the Christian God, including the Wiccan gods, including Norse mythology gods or Greek gods, to be very general and mainstream about it.
Yeah.
They all exist in some kind of capacity, according to pagans.
Well, paganism itself refers to just basically anyone who doesn't believe in like the one true God in that respect. Like the original pagan refers to anyone who is not inherently, I think it's Christian, right? You don't adhere to this thing.
It really has to do with not being monotheistic. Or
not monotheistic, then you are pagan.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's where that's the way he roughly explained it to me. Like I've always wanted to go back and ask him more, just out of curiosity myself.
So umbrella wise is not inherently a bad thing, but it's like when you start breaking it down into these little sects, that there are like individual groups that are a little bit extreme and a little bit heavy.
Yeah, I think his particular specialty and stuff is fuck, what was it? Oh, Norse mythology.
Yeah.
He really is into very deep into the Norse stories and the gods and pantheon there. That's his particular bent, though he's pretty well versed in a lot of the European Celtic religions. So
there is no Christian God. It is an Easter God now.
Right.
So that brings us to the time.
I like Eve has an alarm for us.
Is it for us though? Is it really, or is it?
It's definitely for you and not for my medication that I have to take at 8 p.m. every day.
That's what I thought. But thank you for joining us, chat. Thank you for having this lovely discussion with us about pagans and the people in high school who do the Naruto run. I'm glad that it wasn't just me in my school that had people doing it. Oh my god, that was an experience. And I will be back next week with more stories from my boyfriend of this weirdo who does the Naruto run, because I'm pretty sure he's got more stories than me. Thank you, SDA, for joining me, my lovely co-host. And thank you to our executive producer, Eve, whom without we would not be successful.
And we crash and burn without you.
I'd love to stay overtime. But Game of
Thrones,
if you want overtime, come to my channel in about 30 minutes. I'm going to be streaming Vampire the Masquerade.
It's happening. We gotta go. All right. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.